What's going on, family? So this video is called Serious WWE Moments. Now, if you know anything about me, you know I'm not a big fan of watching anything sad or anything serious, but I understand that they are a necessity to remind us to cherish and appreciate the things that we have, the time that we have left, and the people that we have around us. And hopefully, by watching this video, it reminds you of that as opposed to making you depressed. Now, if sad things or serious things do make you depressed or sad, please watch something else. I don't want this to affect your day. That's not what I'm here for. Someone requested that I react to this, so I told them that I will go ahead and do this. Before we get into the video, hit subscribe. Let's go.
In October 2018, Monday Night Raw kicked off like normal, with the Universal Champion Roman Reigns starting the show. Then, the big dog hit us with this.
My real name is Joe, and I've been living with leukemia for 11 years, and unfortunately it's back. And right now, the best thing for me to do is to go home, to focus on my family and my health. And I'm gonna have to relinquish the Universal Championship.
After sharing this heartbreaking news, Reigns was joined by Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Thankfully, Roman did return about 3 months later to a huge ovation.
I'm in remission, y'all.
Hacksaw Jim.
Guys, just like really quick, I'm sorry for stopping the video. I remember that night like it was yesterday. I remember watching TV and he came out and, you know, most of the arena, if not the entire arena, was booing him because no one wanted him as champion. They felt like he was forced down our throats. And even me, I was like, I don't really care for him as champion, but we'll see what happens. And when he got to the ring and he picked up the mic, the way that he was looking, I can feel the change in his demeanor, the change in the way he was looking. You can tell that something was going on in the back of his head. It didn't feel like it was a normal promo from Roman Reigns. And it felt like something was going on. And no one expected what he said as far as his leukemia, coming back. And that was a sad moment. If you know anything about me personally, you know when it comes to people battling terminal illnesses, battling diseases, it hits me right here every single time. Every single time. It doesn't matter who it is. I don't know what it is. It's just, I just feel for them. Part of it sometimes is like survivor's guilt. Sometimes it's just like, if it's a person that I know is a really good person and then all of a sudden they get this diagnosis, it's just like, why did it happen to them? It's just, and I try to do whatever I can, and this is not to blow up, smoke or whatever. Like I try to like get involved in these different like events that, that do donations to these type of charitable events. Cause hopefully hopefully this helps somebody. And when he went down the ramp and when he went up the ramp, and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins came out and gave him a hug, dude, I don't know, man. It was waterworks for me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I know it's wrestling, but again, when it comes to anyone dealing with a terminal illness, it just gets to me every time. And then when he came back out down the line to let us know that he's in remission, that made my whole day. That made my whole, just to know anyone dealing with that. Like even when I watch videos like that on like in Reels or watch it on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube of people ringing the bell at the hospital, letting people know they're in remission. It just, I don't know. I get so much joy out of knowing that, man. And if anyone's watching this video, if you're battling any terminal illness or anything like that, my prayers go out to you guys. Just keep fighting, man. You guys are the bravest of the brave. So do what you need to do. Please keep your head up as much as you can. And I know it's tough. I know it's hard. I got family members right now and friends. We're dealing with the same thing. Just keep pushing. I promise you. You're not alone in this.
Duggan always came to the ring happy and was a lovable goofball. However, in September 1998, the future WWE Hall of Famer came to the ring to make a very serious and sad announcement.
Just very recently, I went to the doctor and I was diagnosed with cancer. And nothing else seems important to me right now. I just don't want to leave my little girls alone. I just want to tell you folks, when you go to bed tonight, hold your children a little closer because God, they're important.
Thankfully, the surgery was successful, and after several months, Jim Duggan was able to return to the ring. Unfortunately, not all serious moments have a happy ending. There has only been one time that a WWE wrestler has died during a live broadcast. The victim was Owen Hart, who was playing a superhero character named the Blue Blazer and was meant to be lowered from the arena ceiling into the ring. The harness holding Hart snapped and he fell to his death. WWE was live on the air when this happened, and one of the commentators, Jim Ross, had the unfortunate task of telling the viewers what had happened.
This is not a part of the entertainment here tonight. This is as real as real can be here. We're here to entertain and have fun, but this is neither.
No, it doesn't look good at all.
Later in the broadcast, Jim Ross would give a very sad update.
I have the unfortunate responsibility to let everyone know that Owen Hart has died. Owen Hart has tragically died from that accident here tonight.
The June 25th, 2007 episode of Raw will live on in infamy. Rather than opening with loud pyro and a crowd full of energetic fans, the show broadcasted from an empty arena with Vince McMahon standing alone in the ring. McMahon then shared some disturbing news.
Tonight's storyline was to have been the alleged demise of my character, Mr. McMahon. However, in reality, WWE superstar Chris Benoit, his wife Nancy, and their son Daniel are dead. Their bodies were discovered this afternoon in their new suburban Atlanta home.
Things turned even more tragic soon after this, as it was discovered that Chris Benoit was the one who had taken the lives of his wife and son, as well as his own. One of the most real moments in WWE history.
Look, I told you guys, when it comes to stuff like that, with the terminal illness stuff, man, it gets, and that's not to excuse or like blow past what happened to, Chris Benoit's family. That's really sad too. Like, that's absolutely sad. It's just with terminal illness stuff, man. It just hits me every time. I don't know why, man. I try not to be that way. I know I'm soft, but man, I don't know, man. I just can't help it. I just have this soft spot for people dealing with that stuff. Let's keep
was
going.
The infamous Montreal screwjob. It all took place on November 9th, 1997, at the Survivor Series pay-per-view event in Quebec, Canada. The WWE champion at the time, Bret Hart, was taking on Shawn Michaels in Bret's final match before going to WWE's rival, WCW. Depending on who you listen to, Bret didn't want to lose because it was in his home country, or it was because Shawn Michaels said he wouldn't be willing to lose to Bret. In any case, Bret Hart was told he would not be losing the WWE Championship, but Vince McMahon, Shawn Michaels, and others secretly devised another plan. During the match, HBK put the hitman in the sharpshooter, only for the referee to call for the bell, even though Bret Hart hadn't submitted. Bret had been warned that something might happen, and as soon as the referee calls for the bell, you can see Bret realize that his worst fears had become reality. 15 years later, WWE returned to Montreal, and something even more serious happened. Jerry Lawler was doing commentary with Michael Cole like normal. Then, suddenly, Jerry began snoring into the mic. As it turned out, Lawler was having a heart attack and had become unconscious. WWE's medical staff quickly went over to check on Lawler while doing their best not to panic anyone. Jerry was rushed out of the arena and given emergency medical treatment. After a commercial break, Michael Cole had to inform viewers what was going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to preface this by saying that this is not part of our entertainment tonight. This is a real-life situation. Earlier this evening, my broadcast colleague, Jerry the King Lawler, passed out while working here at ringside. He collapsed on the ground. He was stretchered to the back where he received CPR. This is an extremely serious situation, and Jerry, my friend, my prayers are with you.
By God's grace, Jerry Lawler was okay and is still active in wrestling today. One of the most heartbreaking moments in wrestling history was the passing of Eddie Guerrero. One day after his death, WWE held a special tribute show.
Eddie Guerrero was my uncle, technically, but we were brothers. We were 3 years apart. He was the big brother I never had. I was the little brother he never had. We always grew up with the dream of becoming tag team champions. And, excuse me, we were able to let that dream come true. That dream came true here in WWE. That was a tag team for me that will never be replaced. I'll never have a tag team partner like you, Eddie, ever again.
I want Eddie's wife and kids to know how much they meant to him. It's all he ever talked about. I know that somewhere Eddie's gonna be looking down on this night, proud that all the guys went out there and put on a show for him. I miss you, man.
Some of the most emotional and real WWE moments have happened backstage. To see those, watch the video on screen.
You know what's like crazy with the whole Eddie Guerrero situation is growing up, I had someone literally like, and this person I'm talking about, he never watched wrestling. Never watched wrestling. He knew of The Rock, he knew of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Never watched wrestling, don't even know who Eddie Guerrero is. Literally had the same exact personality as Eddie Guerrero. Everything. And, before Eddie passed, that same friend passed just randomly. They don't even know what happened. They don't know why it happened. So when Eddie had passed, it always reminded me of that friend, you know. So whenever I see, even though Eddie was one of my favorite wrestlers, and I kept telling him like, "Hey, you remind me of like, you know, one of my favorite wrestlers. Like, you know, he's like a dope wrestler or whatever." And whenever I see like videos of Eddie and stuff like that, and people see I get kind of, you know, emotional about it, they're just like, "Well, he's a wrestler. You never met him," but it's just like the connection between him and that friend that I had at that time. Like that guy, he was older than me, and he always had my back. He was always there for me. So um whenever they talk about him, it always reflects back to my friend when I think about it, and that's where you know. But you know, at the end of the day, man, these are really sad moments. As I said, hopefully by watching this video, hopefully you guys understand that, you know, you should appreciate the time that you have left, appreciate the things that you have around you, because there's always someone who's in a worse position who wish they can swap positions with you at any point in time. And I know I'm not trying to say that in a condescending way, but just in a way, just being like, let's just pay attention, because I need to take that advice at times too, and to appreciate the people you do have around you. And if you don't have anyone around you, if you don't have anyone, you know, that can look out for you, if you're battling with like mental stuff or with any terminal illnesses or diseases or just everyday bouts, I just hope that by watching this channel, that whatever I put out, excluding the more serious stuff, hopefully it does give you just a little bit of light to your entire day. And that's the reason why I do these videos, because I have so much fun doing it. And I just hope that the people who watch it get a little bit of light in whatever they got going on throughout their entire day. Even if I don't change their entire day, just to be a little part of it, you know, at least being like the most smallest part of helping someone change their day, or just have them have like one chuckle, one laugh, even if they don't think I'm funny and they laugh at me because they think I'm stupid or I'm saying stuff that don't make any sense. I do cherish those moments for other people when they're going through stuff. So at the end of the day, hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Dang, man. It really got to me. But anyways, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Salute, peace, have a good day.